Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. I haven't made a video on Bitcoin, but I wanted to make one today just because we did break a significant level on the chart right now. But before I start the video, I do want to say remember to like, subscribe, and comment about where do you think Bitcoin's going? Do you actually think this what I am about to talk about is feasible? Do you think we're going up? Do you think we're going down? Do you think there's still way more max pain to see in the market? Like, what do you think? Because I like getting the sentiment of everybody just to get a really good gauge of where generally everybody thinks the market is going, right? So I want to see what everybody's like thinking. But for now, I'll get into the video what the TA says, what I think, we're starting to see some signs of relief in the market, especially this past week on Sunday that we closed, and I'm starting to see a lot of really, 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 really good signs on the weekly chart, right? So let's get started. First of all, on one of the most important thing is that this pennant, this pennant actually got broken, right? This pennant that we've actually been on since we started this pennant back on generally May 9th. So this has been created for the last, 20 days almost, right? So about maybe 18 days or so, 17 days. And generally, I don't really trade a lot of candle patterns. I don't like trading candle patterns. It's not my thing. But because of, I've been in the Patreon for so long, and, I actually had a lot of Patreon members who trade patterns a lot, right? And they've actually shown me how to trade patterns, and they've got me a little bit into candlestick patterns again. Not my preference, not what I like. I've seen way too many candle patterns not play out the way that they should, right? So for example, this bearish pennant right here, or just this general pennant in general, right? The target forecast for this would actually be 43K, right? Because if you have this pen, then the flagpole, I guess, this flagpole right here, this previous, where the block order is right here, this previous push to the downside, this flagpole right here would actually be the target. So the move from here, which is like around 40K, all the way down to around 27K, which is roughly about what, $13,000 or so. And that's kind of what the move here is, right? That would be the move here. So from 30 all the way to 43K, this would generally be the target forecast after you actually have a pennant break to the upside, which you just did. And you actually created full 4-hour candles above this pennant, right? Look at Bitcoin. You actually created right now, you're actually going to be creating a full 4-hour pennant to the upside, which is extremely, extremely bullish. And even on the daily, look at that. Even on the daily, you're looking extremely good, which is amazing. But again, candlestick patterns are kind of funky, right? I don't I don't trade candlestick patterns just because, like I said, it's been I haven't, first of all, I haven't traded them enough. Second of all, when I have looked at them, when I've seen clear candlestick patterns, they don't generally play out the way that you would like, right? Sometimes they fall back, and I that's why I like using my own forecasting style, because generally it's a little bit more accurate than just regular candlestick patterns. But if this actually plays out, so quick shout out to all my Patreon members. If you guys are watching, this is for you guys. So if this actually plays out, we'd be going to 43K, which is absolutely bonkers, by the way. Me personally, if I had to forecast this, especially on the daily, we're still technically on the bull cycle right now. But I personally think we wouldn't go up that hard or that fast, or back to 43. I think it's way too bullish right now. Generally, if we do end up running to the upside, I think my breaking point would be like around 34.6K. Before I have to do some sort of reanalysis to figure out, okay, we're going to keep pushing or we're going to go lower. But as of right now, because we did break, because we're still bullish, everything looks pretty decent. I'd say that I would not be surprised to see us back at 36.4 roughly, or sorry, 34.6, like 34,590, like around that level. But the chart's still kind of bearish, man, right? Like if I had to actually give a forecast, I'd say Bitcoin's going lower, even though this pennant actually broke. Like I think the most that we'd see is probably 31K before dropping down again. Like we're gonna be closing the 4-hour bear soon, right? And generally every single time when that happens, you tend to drop like from 31, let me see, 31.2 down to 28. You tend to drop about $3,000 to $4,000, right? So if you kind of stay sideways right here, and you don't really do like all that much. See, here we go. See, here's that bearish pennant that I was talking about, or generally what's going on, right? That forecast of 43K sounds kind of ridiculous to me, right? So I think it's kind of cool personally. I don't think it's gonna happen. I actually think we're gonna see Bitcoin go back down, right? My personal opinion is that, if you look at the pattern, if you look at that bearish pennant pattern, or just the pennant pattern, it's saying that we're gonna go to the 43K. I don't think so. I actually think we're gonna dive all the way back down to roughly maybe like 29K all over again. I'm not that bullish, but again, I gotta give a shout out to my Patreon members for teaching me how to trade like patterns and stuff, even though I don't like it. But if I had to give the max forecast of where I think Bitcoin can go on the bull side, I think you're probably gonna see 34.6 before you come right back down, right? But if I had to pick personally what's gonna happen, I would say we're probably gonna come back down to 29K. I'm not necessarily still bullish right now. I'm still pretty bearish on Bitcoin, unless the weekly actually closes bullish, right? Which is what happened here. Generally, we had a lot of bear momentum. We actually had a really big push, and then we actually topped out at 48K before dropping really hard, right? But again, you would have bought at 42.4, peaked at 48, dropped really hard, which I was super disappointed for, because you had a lot of sell momentum on Bitcoin right here. But generally, the weekly ends up playing out extremely well, right? So you would have actually had here on Bitcoin the weekly entry, 35K before the push up. Again, another entry here, 54K, 54.6 before another push to 69K. And again, it just plays out, right? Plays out before a big push. And I really only listen to the weekly on my indicators for, if you want, if you want my indicators, feel free to follow the Patreon, go subscribe to the Patreon, go follow it. I'll add the link to the description and pin it in the comments. But we are starting to see a lot of ease in the market right now, and especially right now on the weekly. Watch. This is what I'm really excited about, right? On the weekly for Bitcoin. Damn it, what the heck? There we go. On the weekly for Bitcoin, you actually have the blue line above the orange line, or the blue MA above the orange MA. And generally when that happens is you tend to actually start running up super, super hard. So what I'm really excited about right now is that as soon as this little red bubble gets created up here, I'm 100% bullish, right? As of right now, I'm starting to ease down a little bit. Like right now is like right now is the start of the time where you should probably start DCAing into stuff, right? DCAing into Ethereum, DCAing into, Bitcoin, DCAing into a lot of stuff, right? I'm not DCAing into a lot of crypto right now. If anything, I'm just buying more Bitfarms calls or shares, and adding to my positions, right? For Bitfarms, because I think Bitfarms will definitely rally hard when Bitcoin starts rallying hard again. But as of right now, you are starting to see a little bit of, you're starting to see a little bit of wiggle room to the upside for Bitcoin. I'm not saying I'm completely bullish, but you're starting to see the start of the bull momentum to the upside, right? And if I had to guess, like if we actually do close this, 25, 32.9, all the way up to 48.2, that'd be roughly what? 16K. So we do 10K, 35, like 40. I'd say if we do end up doing something like this, maybe we top out like 41K-ish. If we do close that weekly bullish. But it's kind of up in the air right now, man. I'm not necessarily like 100% bullish on crypto, not yet. I don't think I will be, not for a while. And I think we're gonna close a 3-hour bear trigger right now. So I actually think we're gonna go back down to like 29K on Bitcoin. Again, pennant broke, which is fantastic. I don't trade candlestick patterns. If it plays out, I would be even way happier if we go back to 43K, right? Because that's what we want. But I don't think so. I actually think we're going to come right back down. And I think it's going to start in about 21 minutes or so. But again, Bitcoin, personally, I'm bearish. Candlestick pattern says, the pennant says that we're going to 43K, which I don't think we are. I think max is like 34.5. But we are starting to see a little bit of wiggle room to the upside on the weekly chart. So the weekly chart is starting big, like the start, like the infant, like little sparks of hope to the bullish side, barely right now, right? So if you want to start DCAing, I think right now is a really good time to start DCAing, right? I'm not saying go full on position. It's a good time to DCA. But as of right now, short term target for me, I think we're going back to 29K. Longer term target, it all depends on the weekly. I'm still bearish. I'm not bullish yet. I don't think I will be for a bit. But I think we're going back to 29K. But hopefully that bearish pennant plays out to the upside. We'll see. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.